welcome my special guest Eva. Thank you so much, Eva, for being here.
And thank you for inviting me.
Oh, so sweet of you. So before we dive into that, I would like you to introduce yourself so our followers, they will come to know about you.
Yeah. Okay, my name is Eva. I have I've been working for the very same company for more than 40 years, and that might sound very strange, especially to the younger generations. But I worked for a multinational company which gave me several opportunities to change my career during the year, so I never felt any need to actually go somewhere else.
Okay, that's amazing. So you are working for that for almost 40 years?
Yeah, more than 40 years, to be true. But it sounds very, if I tell you the exact figure, it might sound like I'm very old.
Okay.
I might be, but I don't feel that old.
Okay, okay, that's nice. So you are pensioner now?
Yes,
okay.
Yes.
And where are you from? Like from Sweden? Which part of Sweden?
I'm from the Stockholm area.
Oh, okay.
I have my roots spread out over the country. If I look back, but I'm brought up here in the Stockholm area, so this is my place.
Okay, perfect. So now I'm gonna ask you a few questions. So shall we start? Are you ready?
Okay, I'm ready.
Very first question is, what is the Swedish work culture? How does it look like? I would say.
Yeah, I would say that I can, from experience from the company where I worked for such a long time, I can say that it's most time you're treated with respect. If you look at the leadership in Sweden, we try to look for consensus. So it's very seldom a manager would say, okay, this is the way it should be, and that's it. Try to come to a mutual agreement, I would say, how to change a process or whatever it is. So, and I think you feel, most of the time you feel that you have your place and you know what to do. That there are no hidden agenda in most cases.
It is most of the time straight to the work.
Yes.
Okay.
Yes.
And if we will talk about work-life balance, what do you think about it? Is it
from my own experience, I think I had a pretty good work experience, because during all these years I also had a family to take care of. But in most cases, I didn't have bad conscience when I left the office. So I would say that it's pretty good. You can find a balance, but it's also up to yourself.
Exactly, yeah.
If you want to put more energy to work than to your private life, it's up to you. But if you want to have this balance between family and work, you can have it.
Okay. But do you think like Swedish companies, they offer you better work-life balance? If
so,
yeah.
Yes.
Okay. Okay. So the next question is, what are the unwritten rules? Someone is coming new to Sweden and they are starting their work life here. So is there any rule they should know? What do you think?
Yeah, one thing is that we have something called Fika. In general, you might end up with your colleagues 9:30 to have a fika nearby if you have a coffee area, to chit chat, maybe raise some work issues. But it's very important to be there, because it's like a glue for the team, and you if you stand by the coffee machine for 5 minutes, you end up with maybe new connections. I mean, you can broaden your network with just being by the coffee machine a couple of days.
Okay, so you recommend, like, yes, if someone is coming new, they should, utilize this Fika culture in Sweden.
Absolutely.
Okay, okay, that sounds good actually, because if I talk about people like from India, I don't think so. It's not quite famous in Indian work life. doing Fika, especially during working hours. But yes, in Sweden it is quite popular, right?
Yes, it's very popular.
And you must be part of this. For example, there are Fika, but you feel like, I'm not sure. Should I go there? Should I talk to someone? Is it normal to talk there during Fika time?
Absolutely. Yeah, that's
Okay.
why you're there.
Okay.
To
Okay.
chit chat with your colleagues, especially when you're new.
Okay. Tell me some office etiquettes that we are supposed to do, like do or don'ts in office time.
In most offices, you have an open landscape today. So don't ever have meetings in the landscape,
Okay.
because that can be quite annoying.
Okay. Okay. And over friendly, like, because I know, like in Swedes, they will feel maybe sometimes when you are trying to be over friendly or try to talk, it can be a little bit, alarming situation for people who are trying to do that. Like,
Yeah, with friendly thing, you can save it for the Fika sessions.
yeah.
And to be clear, Fika is when you take a cup of coffee and
Talk.
yes, and
Little bit
talk.
chat.
Yes.
Okay. How does Sweden's workplace environment differs from other countries?
Sweden we respect, since we are in most cases in an open landscape, we respect the colleagues. Be quite silent. Not if you get a phone call, go to one of the phone booths instead of sitting in the office. Yes,
Yeah. Okay.
because someone might sit with a big Excel file and
Exactly.
need to be very concentrated.
Exactly. So you try to make sure that you will not disturb others.
Exactly.
Yeah.
If I compare with other offices within the same company, but in other countries, it can be quite loudy, I would
Yeah,
say,
understand.
and nobody cares. But I would say in Sweden, yes, you do care. You do want to have
A
peace and
peaceful-
quiet when you're working by your
Understood.
laptop.
Yeah. So don't be too loud.
No,
Definitely.
don't be too loud.
And what about the lagom thing here in
Yeah,
Sweden?
lagom.
Yes.
It's a very Swedish word,
Yeah.
and that means not too much and not too little. It's a very good balance with everything. You can say something tastes lagom.
Okay. So if you want to relate with work life in Sweden, so how do you say lagom at workplace?
Lagom is at the workplace is that you feel comfortable with your colleagues, and you know that if you have kids at home waiting for you, you can leave the office without any bad conscience that you should stay.
Okay.
Because then we are back at to the question about the working balance.
Exactly. Okay. And be like normal, like lagom, perfect. Don't be too friendly, don't be too shy. It is, we can say like that on a work culture life, right?
Exactly. You need to feel environment.
To feel the vibe, like how it is
yes,
happening, and just
exactly.
follow that vibe. Okay. Yeah. Sounds good. The next question is, how secure are jobs in Sweden? What do you think? Like, is it common for employees to stay in one company for a long time?
I'm a pretty good example of staying for a very long time. And it depends on the agreement you sign. Is it for a certain period? Or is it an ongoing relation between you and the company?
Okay.
So I would say it's pretty secure.
Okay. So
And also, I mean, it depends on in which branch you're working in.
Okay. And firing thing is not too popular in Sweden, I would say.
No. And if they, I mean, sometimes the company needs to reorganize and there will be cut downs. But in most cases, you know that beforehand, it's not like your manager is coming one day say, well, I'm sorry, but you can't stay anymore. That
is
won't
not
happen.
normal.
No, that
Okay.
is not normal.
Okay.
But I know it's normal in other countries.
Yes. That's why I was thinking, okay, because it is not normal and it could be very rare case if it
Yeah, that
happens,
would
right?
be very. But I know that in US, for instance,
Yeah.
from one day to another, you're fired.
Yeah, I can say like in Sweden, working at one place, it is quite secure.
It is.
Okay. And if you want, you can continue for long time.
Yes.
If it is possible, right? Okay. And people prefer here, Swedes prefer to stay at one company for a long time. What do you say?
I think it's a question about generation.
Yeah.
I would say that younger generations, younger than myself,
Okay.
They are more keen on changing to make sure that they have a good career path. But when I worked, there were so many opportunities to change the career, and I know that it still is, but it's a big company, multinational company, so you can have a lot of opportunities.
Yeah, exactly.
But some people, they want to go on and they want to look for other opportunities, and I appreciate that.
So it depends upon people if they want to switch or they want to stay.
Yeah, it depends.
So next question is, what are the benefits which companies typically offer to employees, and how do they compare to other countries if we talk?
First of all, you have set your salary is set, and the salary you see on your salary report, your monthly report, will also tell you how much money the company will pay for your pension, for your vacation, because you get extra dependent on if you have 5 or 6 weeks of holidays. And what more?
That is interesting part. I want to interrupt. So you are saying like companies are paying for holidays as well?
Yes.
Okay.
Yes.
And apart from for the pension part, also company is the one who is paying for pension as well?
Yes.
It is a good benefit. They are allowing you to have holidays with paid holidays, we can say, and pension as well. So it's pretty good.
Because in Sweden, you have the pension the company pays for you, and then we have a state pension as well.
Okay.
That is the base.
Okay.
Or if we look at the pension system, you have a base that's from the state, then from your company, but then of course you can yourself choose to save. To give yourself
another extra if your employee want to add on. Okay.
Yeah, you can add on with an insurance company, or there are a lot of different companies, or even your bank.
Yeah, understood.
You can ask for a private pension as well from your bank or from your insurance company.
Okay.
Also, if you get a baby, you get in many companies will pay. You get money on a daily basis from the state, but that is not 100% in comparison with your salary. But many companies, they give you the rest of it.
Okay.
So you, in most cases, when you're at home for 1.5 years, you have 100% of your salary.
Okay, by just staying at home. That's interesting. Yes. So you are saying the government and the company, they both are paying for you when you are having.
Not all companies, but
most of the
at
companies.
least the big companies.
Okay,
yes.
but it depends, of course, where are you working. But if you are, for example, working an IT company or of course, big companies, they are gonna pay for you.
Yeah, they have money for it.
Okay.
They have, yes.
That's interesting. Next question is, are there any after work social events are normal in Swedish work
Yes,
culture?
it is.
It is?
Yes.
Okay. So for example, if someone is new, so are they supposed to go there? What do you think? What do you suggest to people? They should go there or try to avoid, or if they will not go, it is normal?
Yeah, in most cases you would be invited. Okay, next Friday we go out after work.
Okay. So, for example, you feel like, okay, you're not going, you are not able to go. So, is it a bad sign or
No.
They don't take personal or something like that.
No, it's not. You're not forced to do it.
Mm-hmm.
But I think when you can, it's good because again, like the Fika events,
Exactly.
an after work event is very good because you learn to know your team members.
Okay, so it's the best way to connect with your connect with the people and have a connection, a real connection. Okay.
Because I think in most cases it's very good to know your. I mean, you don't have to be the best friends, but at least to know each other.
Exactly. Okay. The next question is, what's the one advice you would like to give to someone who is, coming to Sweden for work?
I would say in most cases you need to speak Swedish. It's not just for work, but it's if you want to be a part of the society. I think it's quite essential.
Okay. But for example, it's an IT company and the people, they don't use Swedish at all.
Since from my experience, I have had colleagues from all over the world, and they might have lived in Sweden for 10 or 15 years and they don't speak a word Swedish. From my point of view, they miss a lot.
Exactly, yes.
Because we cannot discuss in the clock Fika on a daily. We cannot discuss a TV show we have seen. We cannot ask them about, have you read this book? Maybe it's by a Swedish author. It's more, of course, more a private social thing, but I think it's very important.
Yeah.
I mean, I would do the same. Try to learn the language spoken in the country.
So I understood the point of view. If someone is working in an international company, but still if you want to have a real connection and to make that bond, it is good to know Swedish language. So, you can share something with each other except work.
Yes, and you would understand the culture. And on one hand, you might be able to manage everything with English, but you wouldn't understand everything.
Yeah. So I have another question from this question. I'm thinking, like, that means most of the people who are Swedes and working in international company, they use English language, right?
Yes.
During work time.
Yes.
But for example, after those meetings and Fika, they are more comfortable using Swedish, right?
Yes.
So they would love to have people who can speak Swedish.
I can mention my own experience from years and years of having all the meetings in English because of the colleagues coming from everywhere.
Exactly.
And all of a sudden I end up in a meeting and I realize, wow, we can speak Swedish at this meeting.
Yeah. So you feel like, of course, it is quite normal and you will feel comfortable and relaxed. Okay, now we don't need to use English all the time. And especially during relaxing time, Fika time, you don't to think it can be overwhelming to use English all the time. Understood. Okay. That was quite interesting actually. Good to know, because most of the people, they say we are in IT company, we don't need to, use Swedish, so it's too common. No, like that. If you know Swedish, it will, of course, benefit you for sure.
Yeah, it's a very good benefit.
Yes. Yeah. So next question is, what do you think, how competitive it is right now, in Swedish job market, and especially for non-Swedish people? What do you think?
Sweden it's not a very big country, but it depends on where you are. Where are you staying? If you live in Stockholm, I think the competition is quite big. A bad example of what happened up in the north recently.
Yeah, exactly.
Where it was like a very big bubble, and now the bubble is nothing.
Yeah, so many people are affected very badly. Yes. And especially for, I would say, non-Swedish people, they are like under trauma, I can say, because maybe few people of them, they are supposed to go back to their home country.
Yeah, and if they want to stay, then we go back to, do they speak Swedish?
Yes. Yeah, that is a
Because in those cases, if they speak Swedish, they might find a job
yes.
in that place.
So one more question is coming in my mind. So what do you think? In early period of time, employers were not focusing so much on language, but now they are focusing more. Is it true? Like I can feel that way.
Yes,
Maybe is
yes,
it true?
it is.
Okay.
But I mean, it's a political thing, but I think it's quite sensible.
Oh, okay. But yeah, okay.
I think so. I mean, you can hide yourself between the international language English for quite a long time, but to the bitter end, you might end up with you need to apply for a job where they ask for Swedish.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So if you're planning to stay in Sweden, it is like maybe probably in upcoming years it would be must-have thing before coming to it.
It will be. Yes.
Yeah. Okay.
I'm sure about that.
Okay, so that's all. These were the questions, and thank you so much for being here with me. It was lovely talking to you, and I hope all the viewers they will get to know more about Sweden.
Yeah, I hope so.
Yeah,
thank you so much. I hope I could share some of
definitely
the benefits of
exactly
being a Swede.
Yes,
or coming to Sweden and stay here.
Exactly. Thank you so much.
Thank you.
Bye bye.
Bye bye.